Hey guys, this is WhytManga here with a new video, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you guys how to draw a manga character from the side. So sideways, profile view, you get it. So keep in mind that, not all characters have the same facial structure, and I'm going to be drawing in my own style. So there's definitely going to be an observational aspect to this tutorial. I'm going to be telling you guys how I work about things and how things work for me in my own style, and hopefully that translates at least some principles translate into you figuring out your own style and figuring out how to draw your character, whichever character it is, whether it's a male, female, whether it's old, whatever kind of facial structure the character has, in your own style, by taking little tidbits here and there from this tutorial. So here, as I start, unlike characters that are facing me head on and I start with like an oval shape, with the side view I like to start with like an outline, almost like a silhouette of the character, where I draw the nose and I draw the mouth, and and figure all that out. Figure out the distance between distance, or how much the mouth is protruding and all of that. Figuring out how, if the lips go further than the nose, or the nose goes further than everything else, if the part where the eyebrows are to show like expression, if the character is angry, that'll probably pop out a little more and be, it'll pop out forward a whole lot more, and maybe go downward a little bit if it's angry, and upward if it's, just to convey whatever emotion or expression it is. I have videos on the expression. And then I put in the eyes. And now the way the eyes work, right? So I'll just give a brief example of how the eyes work here. So you have this eyeball, that's the circle, and then you have, the pupil, the iris, where things are going to be. And that, the one I did on top, is how it will look if it's looking directly at you, right? And then I'm putting the iris, or the black spot in between. I can't remember what it's actually called. Leave in the comments what some medical term, what the actual name is. Anyways, what it's not going to be at the front of it, like it's almost like it was painted on. With the eyeball, the black is more inside, right? It's kind of inside the circle. And then, from a side view, we then get to see the eyes, or the eyelids, kind of form almost like a triangle. And then you have the eyelashes flowing out. Usually for a female character, especially, not necessarily a female character, a very feminine character, you would have a whole lot more eyelashes than usual, and really long, and you can play around with that. And here's where you get to do some lazy eye kind of drawings, and the eye is kind of cutting it halfway, giving a very small angle. That triangle's, it's giving off a very small angle. And then you figure everything out. So and people, again, the characters have different kinds of eyelids. Some eyelids have a whole lot more, have more lines to them. Some eyelids have no lines at all. Some eyelids have like eye bags right under, well, not eyelids, eyes in general have like eye bags under. It depends on what you want to do. And this kind of drawings for the side views and things like that, they're usually done when you're trying to figure out a character sheet, and you're drawing the character from the side, you're drawing the character from like front view, back, and all the necessary angles, so that anybody working on that project would know how to draw that character from those perspectives as well. So here, say you have a character, you can use these lines, you see these vertical lines here, to kind of figure out and gauge the distance between each other, the distance the nose goes at its highest, or its forehead, or the lips. And you can see here the nose reaches the vertical line to the most left, and the lips kind of go back, form a little some kind of circular shape at the top, at the middle line, and they come out hitting that middle line. And you kind of use these lines to just gauge where things go. You think of them as like guidelines, and for that character you kind of want to be consistent. So here we have a character, a different facial structure, older character, a little almost as if he has a broken nose, a thicker jaw, and then you're figuring things out. See the eyes here a little different, even though it still forms a triangle. It's weird and a little more organic, and you kind of figure all that stuff out. on your own. For the character I'm using here, Osamu, which is I'm using as a model for this video, is the character from my comic Apple Black. And if you're interested in Apple Black, the first 4 chapters are free. The links in the description. Links in the description to everything you could possibly need. They're all in the description. Here, then I start from the jaw. I use the jaw to figure out where the ear is going to be. I make sure that the top of the ear is slightly above the character's eyebrows. And you know, there are different cases. Sometimes it depends on what kind of character it is. Sometimes some characters have like long ears, or different. Maybe it's not a human being; it's a different kind of species. So you have the opportunity to play with that a whole lot more. So you might have a case where the ear, maybe it's an elf, so the ears are much longer than the top of the ears are much longer than that, and they go much wider and deeper and things like that. You can play with all that stuff, but for the general basis of what an ear should look like, usually for my style, this is how it looks. You can kind of figure things out how you want yours to look. Sometimes ears are very, very simplified. I've seen characters where the ears are just the shape of the ear. They don't even draw any lines inside. It's left for you to figure out. But for like the basis, or at least in my style, I have a video drawing ears. Again, that'll be something I'll link to. Going back to Apple Black, again, you can even get book 1, which has the first 9 chapters available. I'll leave a link to where you can purchase that on Amazon in the description. You can check that out. Everything you could possibly need will be in the description for Apple Black, and where Apple Black is published and serialized in the digital magazine of Saturday AM. You can check out all the other comics in Saturday AM as well. You can read our latest issue actually free on the site for a limited time. We have a subscription model, the cheapest in the business, and I'll leave that in the description for you guys to go check out as well. Here, drawing the character again from a different angle. The same thing. I'm figuring out. It's basically the same image but mirrored. But the character has certain features on the other side, on his other cheek, and he doesn't have this. You see the little long tied ponytail that he has in the first drawing, which is kind of in the story. It's more that kind of ponytail, but ponytails, I guess it's not a ponytail, but that kind of tail on the sideburn in my comic symbolizes a sense of royalty to the character. So there are lots of characters who have that a lot. Not necessarily the sideburn ponytail, whatever you want to call it, but more you see at the end of it, there is like a medal at the end of it, and it's not necessarily a crown, but you can think of it as such. And here we're going again. I'm figuring out the eyebrows and the eyes. I make sure that the eyes, where I'm putting that triangle, I just make sure I try to get that triangle first, and the triangle kind of starts underneath the eyebrows, obviously, but I make sure that the eyes go a little further to the middle of the whole head, just a little bit. You know, it's not in the same line with where the eyebrows start. And again, I figure out how I'm going to do everything else with the pupil and the iris. Figure out the ears. For the most part, this drawing here is already done. Once you figure out that initial outline and you've mastered it for whatever character it is, the distances between the nose and the mouth, and you know how everything is placed, it's different for each character, unless you know they're characters with similar facial structures. But it's different for each character. And once you figure it out, and maybe when you're designing the character and you're coming up with the design sheet, that's what the sheets are for. They're for you to figure out how this character is going to look. And side views sometimes can be very tricky. I've seen people where especially with the eyes, and maybe they'll draw the whole eye, right? How they'll draw the eye, how it would look when you'd be looking at the character head on versus sideways, and they kind of draw it the same way, and it just doesn't fit. Or you're drawing the pupil and the iris, and they draw it like a whole circle. And this now, it's more like a really thin oval shape, like I drew earlier with the illustration I had. Kind of giving you guys an insight of how to properly draw your character in the side view, in a profile view. Of course, again, like I said, this is my style for the most part, so it's an observational tutorial in the sense that you're going to try to want to translate this into your style. And I hope this video has helped. I hope you guys got the best out of it, and I hope you guys enjoy. So don't forget to like this video, leave a comment if you have any questions. There are more videos coming to you soon. I'm going to use this same pencil drawing in my next video, and I'll talk about, you know, Sakura Micron inking pens and the G pen, what the differences are, because a lot of people have been asking me questions of why I use the G pen. Another thing with using a pencil here, it doesn't matter what pencil you use, just have fun. Whatever pencil you have in your house, you can use in this tutorial. Again, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I have posted lots of videos like this. I appreciate all the support I've gotten so far. We're almost 80,000 subscribers. This is huge. I never thought. Well, I hoped we'd get this far, but I didn't think we'll get here this soon. So that's great. Announcement video coming in a couple days, explaining what I've been busy doing, and a little update on Apple Black Volume 2. And yeah, that's it, guys. It's WhytManga, and I'm out.